Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. So, I come to you again with yet another dilemma. I seem to have a lot of dilemmas, don't I? So, so I need all of the computer geeks, nerds, people that know algorithms. I need to figure this out. So, as you see in the title, this is in reference to Uber's algorithm. Don't understand it, can't figure it out, don't have the first clue as to how it works. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. As a driver, there are surges in an area. There could be a dollar surge, could be a $2, could be 5, could be 10, could be 20. If the demand is, and it's a different color as it gets bolder and bolder and bolder until it's a deep, deep, deep red, when there's what I would consider in an area on a map that people are really needing a ride in that area. That was my first mistake. Using common sense, throw that out the window. Get rid of it, okay? So, if you're working, I usually just take call to call to call. Sometimes I play the surge, and everybody on Uber or on YouTube that has an Uber account says, oh, don't play the surge game. Don't chase the surge, as they say. That's a lot of it. But you know what? If you're, say I'm in Peoria, and I'm half a mile down the road, if I, like there, you can go on break. There's a little coffee cup button in Uber, like if you need to take a break, you can push that coffee cup, and then when you're done with your next ride, they won't send you any more rides. They'll say, you're standing by, and then when you get done using the restroom or getting a cup of coffee or taking a break, you can then swipe resume and go back on duty. But it still shows you the map of where you're at. And so if you're not going call to call to call and accepting all the calls, you can play the surge by, if you're on a break and you notice that, oh, over here are 6 blocks, there's a $5 surge. As soon as you drive into that area, over that $5 area, it'll say at the bottom, your next trip, $5. That means you get a $5 bonus, plus I get $1 for driving an electric car. So I've got $6 even before I get that trip. $6 in my pocket. So then I'll go back on duty, swipe, resume, boom, your next trip. You got $6 plus whatever that trip would have been. If it was a $5 trip or a $15 trip, you get that on top of your surge money plus your $1 electric vehicle money. All right. I got all the simple stuff out of the way. Here's what I cannot figure out, and if any of you got this figured out, you're obviously much, much smarter than I am. So, let me use today as an example, and this happens 99 times out of 100. So, today, my wife was busy. I had been out Ubering this morning. I got done. I came back. I had to take my sister to the doctor. Got that taken care of. Got back home. Was kind of relaxing this afternoon, and my wife was babysitting, and then she said, well, I'm going to be gone this afternoon or evening. If you want to go out and do we also DoorDash. If you want to go out and DoorDash, feel free if you have nothing else to do. So I don't want to do that without her. I don't know. It's just right now I just want to be, that way it's our time to spend some time together. So I was at home, and at our location, I looked at the Uber app real quick. I was working on a computer doing something, and I looked on the Uber app, and there was a $5 surge about a half a mile from our house. And sometimes I get notified on my Apple Watch. It'll say things are heating up in your town, and I go, oh, that means there's a surge that's happening. And I calculate a surge as there's a lot of people needing a ride, and there ain't no Ubers in the area. Again, sorry, that was common sense. Throw that out. Take that, throw it away. So this evening, today is Friday, September 29th. So I thought, oh, I'll run over there and do that. So I chased the surge because it was about a half a mile from my house. I drove that half a mile, and before I could even get to that area, poof, it disappeared on the map. No more surge. Done. Gone. So I was close to downtown, so I drove, and we live in Pekin, Illinois. So I drove another mile or so, mile and a half maybe, to the downtown area. And I thought, well, do I just go on duty and take one for free, or a normal with no surge? Or do I not? And do I go back home? So while I was contemplating that in my mind, the map, boom, turned red and said $4.75 surge where you're at. Your next trip, $4.75. I was like, whoa. And it was a 6-8 block area, 10 block area, and I was in it. So I thought, okay, I got a $4.75 surge plus $1 because of the Chevy Bolt that we're driving. I'm sitting at $6 before I even go pick this individual up. Well, I swiped and went on duty, and this is where it gets complicated. It gave me a call. My pickup was 2.8 miles away back by my house. Not in a surge area, not anywhere near a busy area, nowhere. It happens 99 times out of 100. That surge area, in my pea brain, thinks, oh, well, that's where all the people are at that are needing some rides. That's a busy area. You want to go there and pick up a ride. So in my mind, in this 8 to 10 block area where it was on the map that it was red and there was a surge, I should have had a pickup like a tenth of a mile away. That again, got to stop using common sense. You can't use that here. So then my next thought was, okay, well, I'm going to go back 3 miles, whatever, pick this guy up, and maybe he wants to come to the hot spot. Maybe Uber is doing it backwards, and that hot spot is where these 8 or 10 blocks is where everybody in the United States wants to come to. That's not right either. You can't outthink the algorithm. I'm not sure Uber knows how the algorithm works. So I drive, and I already accepted this, so I accepted the ride, and I went back 3 miles or whatever it was, 2.8 miles, near my house, picked this guy up, and I had already seen that it was a delivery was, sorry, I bumped the computer. His ride was going to be about a half-hour ride. So I thought, I was hoping to just stay in Pekin and take him somewhere. No, he wanted to go to a whole other town. So he has to pay that surge. That surge is paid by the rider for me. But that poor guy wasn't in the surge. He was out where it was slow and nobody was needing a ride. And he wasn't going back into the little surge 8 or 10 block area. He was going to a town a half hour away to be dropped off. Nothing to do with that red dot. Nothing. Zero. So I made my money and I dropped him off. I made like $25 in an hour. Not bad. And it got me thinking again. And that's a very dangerous thing for me. I want to know how things work. I am a very meticulous person. I want to know why this, and this happens. So I had been thinking about this for the last 6 months or whatever since I've started Ubering again. That happens all the time. I'll tell my wife, it's weird. Sometimes you'll find a $9 surge or an $11 surge if it's really, really, last week one day I had a $9 or $11 surge right in an area that I was at. So I I was literally right by it. I drove into that area. The app says, okay, your next trip, you get $11 or $9 or whatever it was. So I'm going to get $1 for the electric car plus $9. So I got $10 before I even pick this person up. I get a trip. It's no one anywhere close to there. I'm probably 5 miles from the University of Bradley, or Bradley University. It was a Bradley student who needed to go to work. I drove to a non-hotspot location, picked up a college student who has to pay all of this, and then I took him to work, which was nowhere near back where I was at. Nothing. Not even close. And each time that happens to me, I think, what makes this algorithm go around? What makes it do what it does? Every maybe 1 out of 100 times, if I'm in a busy area, I'll swipe be on duty, get a surge, $4 surge or whatever, and it'll say your pickup is 0.3 of a mile away, and it's still in that surge area or close. That's 1 out of 100. I can just about guarantee if I go to a surge area and I'm on duty and I accept a call, I am not going to be anywhere near that surge area. I don't want to say ever again, but I'm not driving 5 miles to pick somebody up and bring them back to the surge area, and I'm not picking them up in that surge area and driving them somewhere else. I just can't. And for a pea brain like mine, I'm like, why? How? What? I'm asking all of those questions. I can't figure it out. There is no rhyme. There is no reason. I don't understand it. Maybe it's, Uber wants you to go to work, so they pop up surge areas. But unfortunately, the poor people that are riding, the poor riders, are the one who has to pay for that surge. And they're not in that surge area. And they're not going to that surge area. So, you know how I have a headache sometimes like that? I don't get it. So, you know how I say, do the math? I can't do the math because I can't figure that out. I mean, this isn't even second grade math. I mean, this is, there is no rhyme. There's nothing. So anyway, I'll get off of that. I'll continue to either chase the surge or not chase the surge. And sometimes when I work, I just go on duty and I accept the calls. I get one, and even before I drop that person off, boom, I have another one, and another one. And I'll get one before I drop this person off, I'll have another call. And I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll do that where I got 8, 10, 12, 13, 15 riders. I mean, I only work 3 or 4 hours in the morning, I try not to work all day. And it's only when I have time, if I'm not busy. So it's just a thought. I just need some clarification. I need a genius out there to tell me, oh yeah, that's simple. Here's how it does it. So if you would please comment down below, that would help me figure it out, why it does what it does. Or as my wife says, stop letting it bother you. Just go out and work. So please like and subscribe. I appreciate everything this tiny channel gets. We're slowly getting subscribers, and I appreciate that. It's just a nice channel. It's a way for me to vent, get something off my chest, and I also give a lot of stats and information and details about different things. So I appreciate it. Again, please like and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And take care, everyone.